Here we are at number 3. So what real world have they given us? Well, they've given us 13 grams of this, and they have given us 12 liters of 0.8 atmospheres of 348 Kelvin, which again is our 75. That's going to be 348 Kelvin. And what do they want? They want to know how many grams are over here in this guy. So we're going to go with a have, we're going to go with a used, and we're going to go with a leftover. And we're going to have to get from grams down to moles, and then we're going to have to get from gas laws down to moles there. This stuff weighs 60.1 grams per mole, so you end up with about 0.216 that you have here in moles. And if you use PV equals nRT, or N is equal to PV over RT, and plug everything in correctly, you should end up with about 0.336 moles that are there. So now we got a choice. This is the only wibbly bit of the whole method here, is which one of these do I choose as my guy? Do I do the 216 or do I do the 336? Maybe I'm feeling the 336 this time. I'm going to try to use up all 336 and be left with none. Well, how'd I do? Let's see. That's going to be 3/4, because again, well, not that 3, that 3/4 that's there. So again, you're talking about starting at a 4 and going over there to the 3. And if I take 3/4 of the 0.336, I end up with the 0.252. Oh, darn it. I screwed it up. I did it wrong. I only have 216, and I'm going to try to use up 252 here, so I did that wrong. I did it backwards. I chose the wrong limiting reagent. So I'm not going to run out of the bromine trifluoride first. I'm actually going to run out of the silicon dioxide first. So I screwed it up. No big deal. No harm, no foul. I'm just going to go back and start it again. So this time I'm going to try to use up all of the 216 here to be left with none of it, which again means that this is my limiting reagent. So now what I do is I do the same thing, except I'm going this away. So I come over here by a ratio of 4/3. And when I do that, I end up with, okay, there it is, 288. And the 288 is a real world reasonable number. So I should end up with about 0.048 moles of that left over. So I did it right this time. Now I don't care about the have, and now I don't care about the leftover. What I care about is how much is used. So I want to get over here to this guy. So which do I use? It doesn't matter. So if I want to go from the 288, no problem. I'm just going to go from the 288. I'm trying to get from a 2 to a 4. So again, I'm going to go from a 4 down to a 2, so I'm going to cut that by 2/4, or cut it in half. So I'm going to end up with 0.144 here. But if you had chosen this one instead, no big deal. It's just that you're going to go from a 3 over to a 2, so that's going to be 2/3, and you'd end up with the same answer. It really doesn't matter. Now I need to come up here, and now I need to figure out what the mass of Br2 is. So I look that up, and it should be about 159.8 grams per mole. Again, you're not going to take that 2 into account because you've already done that 2 here and here, but you do take that 2 into account because it's part of the formula. So you do the math and you end up with right at about 23 grams of the bromine.